Of the Red Sox Alley Show, doing a show live on YouTube this Saturday afternoon, July 20th. I don't expect anyone to really join us online. I did not publicize this, but I wanted to put a show online. Most of you are watching this, or all of you are watching this on YouTube after the fact, which is fine. The All-Star break is over. The Red Sox beat the Yankees 4-2 last night to start the official second half of the season. But I wanted to touch on a few topics, as always. So first, let's cue the music. And I'm engineering the show myself. I have no producer, no engineer, no director, no nothing. It's just me. So you may see me look away a little bit. There's a lot of pessimism rearing its head before the All-Star break, especially when the Red Sox started the West Coast trip kind of negatively. And that's where the pessimism started. A lot of people said, oh, they're going to be terrible on the West Coast trip. They may not even be in first place when they're done. And then you had people saying that, oh, they have to have a fast start in the second half or else. Well, they ended up 5-5 on the West Coast trip prior to the All-Star break. They won last night, so I'm vindicated. No, not really. But the bottom line is that the Red Sox have done well against the American League East. They've beaten the Yankees. I think they're 6-3 against the Yankees, for example. And I think this team is about consistency. It's not about kind of stepping out of what they've been doing for the first half. They won something like 58 games in the first half of the season. And I think this team is about staying consistent. The fact that people are saying they must have a fast start, or they must win 10 in a row, I'm not buying it. This team stays consistent, and that's how they're going to win. That's how they're going to get into the playoffs, not doing anything that they haven't been doing up until now. And I have to say that they've obviously had a lot of players fill in at times. You saw Stephen Wright pitch some great relief the other day. Brandon Workman was flirting with a no-hitter. You got Brock Holt playing some third base, getting some key hits. Snyder. One kind of interesting one is Aceves. And for those of you who don't know, when he was sent down last, he was actually taken off of the 40-man roster. So they had to clear a roster spot, and he was the odd man out. That means he passed through waivers, and no one wanted him. So if the Red Sox are to use him again, they're going to have to find a spot for him. And, you know, as we point out on our show in the past, the fact that they could take him, send him down, and he would actually go down, pitch for Pawtucket, and then come back 3 times and pitch pretty well is amazing. I think it's kind of unprecedented to see a veteran do that. And he's a kind of a odd kind of guy, I guess, and he has his own reasons for why that works for him. But at this point, you have to think that he's hoping that someone is interested in trading for him at some point, because otherwise he's going to be stuck at AAA the rest of the year. Now, Lackey is the key. His ERA is under 3. He's pitching today against the Yankees at 4 o'clock on Fox. He's the key. Staff together with Buchholz being injured. He's really stepped it up. Lester not pitching that great. Dempster pitching okay. Morales looking pretty good lately, but Lackey's been the guy. He's been very consistent. He's throwing in the mid-90s. He's got great command of his curveball, great command of his changeup, and he's resurrected his career. You know, after 1 year with the Red Sox where he pitched poorly, he also missed the entire season last year. I think it's 2 seasons, or maybe it's 3. You can correct me if you want. Don't call me, just correct me. Just say I was wrong. It's okay. But he's really been a big key to the rotation. The bullpen is you'd think is in rough shape. You have Miller go down, Hanrahan's done. It looks like Bailey's done, but yet they keep finding guys. I mean, Wright could be an answer. I think Mortensen might be an answer. Tazawa, not sure he's closing material, but Uehara's been doing a great job closing. They had 2 interesting signings yesterday to minor league contracts. Old friend Jose Contreras, who used to pitch for the Yankees and other teams, was signed to a minor league deal. He's 41. And Brandon Lyon, old friend Brandon Lyon, who spent 1 year with the Red Sox. He's done some closing in his career. They signed him to a minor league deal. So whether or not those 2 pan out or not is yet to be seen. But I think they're kind of insurance to add, to the players down to AAA. And you have the trade deadline coming up. People are saying trade Lester for Cliff Lee or get Jake Peavy. Keep in mind that while you may think you know what you're getting when you trade for players at the All-Star break, there's a good chance that the player you expect does not play the way you expect them to play. And that's happened countless times where they've made deadline deals like Aaron Seeley, I remember years ago, and he didn't pan out at all for the Red Sox. You never know. When they say it's a long season, well, when you make a trade at the trade deadline, it's almost like the player starting their season over again. And when you start at the end of July, beginning of August, you got 2 months to really prove yourself and get acclimated to a new situation, and anything can happen. But the exception to that is obviously if they can work a deal to get Papelbon. If they do that, they've got a known quantity who's going to step right in and hopefully pitch well, although he did not end the season very well 2 years in a row for the Red Sox. But he's a known quantity. He's been pitching well this year. And I think with Papelbon, if you get him, there won't be that idea of starting a second season with a new team, obviously. He would be able to step right in. Now, whether or not they're willing to trade prospects for him or someone on the Major League roster and take on that contract because they didn't want to sign him to begin with to that long-term contract, that's kind of remains to be seen. But I think he's really the one piece that if they were to get him, that obviously he'd fit right in. There would be no lag time in terms of him getting accustomed to this team. I don't know that he's worked with Nieves, but he's obviously worked with Farrell a lot, and I think that would work out just fine. And I think everyone would agree with me on that. So, it's going to be an interesting second half. The bullpen is definitely a concern. Whether or not they trade for a closer, I think they may have to. Well, if they had a second option to Uehara on the staff, that'll be a different story, but I think they don't. And they really may have to kind of look at another option at closer. Now, whether or not they have enough time to get a look for the next week or so at Brandon Lyon, I don't know what kind of game shape he's in right now. I guess he's an option, but seeing as they signed him to a minor league deal, I guess he wasn't pitching for anyone else. That's going to be a tough one. So I welcome your comments on all of our social media platforms, as always, on Twitter at Red Sox Alley, on Facebook. You can find us, facebook.com, Red Sox Alley, on email, redsoxalley@comcast.net. And you can listen to our show on Stitcher Smart Radio, on our website, redsoxalley.com. Stay in touch. Let me know if you want to join a show with us at some point in the near future. You never know when one might pop up. And if you express interest, you may get an invite before you know it, and we'll get you on the show. So thanks for watching, everyone. It's a very, very hot and steamy Saturday afternoon here in Connecticut, as it has been for the past 4 or 5 days. The heat wave continues. We hope to get a break from it sometime today with some storms, and tomorrow is supposed to be a nippy 86 degrees. So again, everyone, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great weekend. Bye.